YouTube? You're watching Steel City MotoVlogs. I'm Derek T, your host. Today is Saturday, April 8th, 2023. It's roughly about 42 degrees right now, but the high is supposed to be somewhere in the ballpark of 57 today. A little chilly to get started for the day, but we're actually going to be it's actually going to turn out to be a pretty nice one. It's supposed to be dry weather for about a week and headed up into the 70s and 80s over the course of the next few days here. So definitely a great time to be out and riding. Hopefully everybody's out, you're riding your bike and being safe about it. I'm on my way to meet up with one of my club brothers, and we're gonna ride out to Greensburg, PA, to M&M Leather. It's a cycle gear kind of place, but more of a family-owned operation. A lot of stuff they got there. I think I've been there in other videos that I've shot, headed out that way. But yeah, we're going for the ride today. Before the end of this video, I may make a stop at a local cycle gear, but when I say local, I'm using that term loosely, because if I make the run, it's easily about 35 miles away from where we're going. Probably even a little bit more than that. But heck, it's Saturday. It's Saturday with clear skies, and I just don't think, well, I didn't make any other plans for today, so if that's the run I'm going to make, that's the run I'm going to make. I don't have nothing else to do. But for the time being, let's get to the meeting spot, and then... All right, y'all, we're back. Got my man Shoddy riding behind me. Like I said, we're riding out to Greensburg, PA. We're going to have a nice little visit at M&M. Might pick up, definitely going to pick up a pair of shades out there. And I might pick up a seat cushion. Make this old seat a little bit more welcoming for those long trips. Might pick one of those up if I see what I like. I also had a chance to run my GoPro Quick app from the iPad while I was waiting for him to get here. That was invaluable because I was able to pretty much do a sound check on my way there. Let me tell you what's been going on there. I have been having so much frustration with my audio setup. I mean, my videos lately have had some really terrible audio that, if you notice, the last couple have just been done with voiceovers. That wasn't by design, that was out of necessity. So I did a few things. I purchased a new media mod because I've pretty much learned that my old one had a bad jack in it. The 3.5 millimeter jack was faulty. I don't know if it maybe got some water in it on a long ride or whatever. I had it for a little while, you know, but either way, in my troubleshooting I discovered that. And then also I think some of my older microphones just may have had shorts in the wires. I don't know. I don't know what the longevity factor is on these cheap lavalier mics. I had Purple Pandas, and they both seemingly did the job for a little while, but then, like I said, the last few, I mean, I was really sounding kind of crazy on some of my videos. As a matter of fact, it sounded a little bit like this. So yeah, not really feeling sounding like Mario on Punch-Out like that. That's for some of you guys who grew up when I grew up and everything else. If you didn't, and you got a little bit more wisdom than me, God bless you. If you grew up after I did, I feel sorry for you. I just think the 80s were a great decade. Anyway, I think I finally got to where I have a decent audio setup, which is going to save me a little bit of trouble, because I was getting ready to make an investment in some more equipment, like perhaps one of the Sena cameras, where it just does all the recording right there on the SD card, and everything is synced up, and run the GoPro footage over top of the Sena footage, but use the Sena audio. That was actually my next plan. And then also DJI makes a nice wireless microphone setup, and I'm seeing some motovloggers kind of going to that setup. I'm not going to kid you, I like it a lot. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of torn between whether or not I was going to invest in like a Sena 10C or the 10C Evo, that is, or the DJI mic system, because I really like them both, and I can really make a case for having them both, but not necessarily needing them both. Anyway, while I was sitting there in the parking lot, I got a chance to open up the iPad and go to the GoPro Quick app and listen to what I sounded like on the way here. And I haven't been this happy with the audio output in a little while. But yeah, that DJI wireless setup is really, really nice. And like I said before, I'm seeing a lot of motovloggers kind of going to that setup. It might not be too long before I go to that setup too, but I might have bought myself some time instead of paying $350 for that setup. I think $18.99 for a pair of new lav mics has kind of done the trick for now. I have one of them that I'm speaking into currently, and one of them on my on one of my Sena speakers, so that anything that comes through those speakers you'd be able to hear, you know, if I'm having a conversation with somebody via a Sena communicator. So that's kind of what's been my microphone setup to this point, my audio setup to this point. I've been happy with it up until maybe about December of 22, and literally through January and February, I was so, oh man, I was so frustrated that I just, I think I took like a 50-day hiatus, so to speak, and I just didn't record anything. I was riding, was doing a bunch of riding, was doing very little recording, just because I was so over this, you know, the situation and trying to get things set up right. But I think I'm on the other side of it now, where I can start bringing some content back to you. So I'm back after a little bit of a hiatus, but it's all good. It is all good. One of the things about that media mod, the old one, or better yet, getting a new one, because I'm running the GoPro Hero 8 Black, it's not the newest GoPro out, and because of that, I was able to pick up a new media mod for about $35 on Amazon, brand new in the box. Those media mods usually go $70-80 brand new. So newer isn't always better. Newer isn't always better. But yeah, I'm happy that I got things kind of set up the way that I like for them to be. And maybe that $18 pair of lavalier mics has done the trick. And that'll save me from having to pay out $300 or $400 for an upgraded audio system. One day I probably will. but that day don't have to be today, and that's good news. So like I said, we're on our way to Greensburg, PA. We've probably got about a 40 to 45 minute ride out this. We chose to come down State Route 30 instead of hopping on the PA Turnpike just because. So I'm going to speed the video up a little bit, and I'll get back with you all shortly here. All right, y'all, we just pulled out from the gas station, and I'm told that I was going pretty fast through there. The speed limit out here on this stretch of road is 40. I think I hit 54. Shawty told me he was hitting 70 trying to keep up with me. I don't know if I believe I was going 70 miles an hour. So I'm trying to figure out what the physics of that thing is. I know that when you're riding in a group, if you're riding in the back, you know, if you're riding, you know, with one other person or with 10 other people, I do know that you tend to ride harder when you're riding behind somebody as you're trying to keep up. I do, you know, I've experienced that, but I'm trying to lock in that when I'm when I'm the one out front, I'm trying to lock in at a good rate where, you know, the person behind me doesn't feel like they're burning up the road trying to keep up with me, because that's not how I tend to want to ride. So like, I'm at 53 right now, so I think I want to hang it in around between 50 and 55. And we'll see how that plays out. The speed limit is 45 over there now. So I'm going to keep it under 55 and see what he thinks when we get where we're going. We're actually not terribly far away. It's not too frequently that I find myself leading the pack. If that pack consists of one person, I mean, only one other person, or, you know, 4 or 5 other people, whatever the numbers are, I'm not the one usually leading the pack. But no, I don't want somebody trying to go 70 in a 45 to try to keep up with me either. So for those people who you're experienced in group riding and leading groups, what's the physics of that thing? How does the math work out for you? You know, like if you're going 70, do you feel like people have to go 80 or 90 to keep up behind you? Or what speed do you lock in at so that the people behind you are comfortable? I think that's a great question. So if you can drop a comment and let's have a conversation there. I think that'd be a great conversation to have. All right, y'all. So there was a whole lot more that happened on this ride with me and my brother Shotty heading out towards Greensburg, PA. And there's a whole ride from Greensburg, PA back home to Pittsburgh. But in a lot of conversation pieces that happened,
in that ride. But I actually want to kind of start cutting the video a little bit short right here, and I'm going to come back to you with other parts of that ride in separate videos. But what I really want to do is have a conversation about the physics of leading a group of people. If you're leading one other person, or if you're leading 10 other bikes, you know, what is that like? Because what's that like for you, I should say, you know, when you're out front and you're going 70, but people are feeling like they got to go 80 to stay up, you know, to kind of stay with you. How does that work out for you? And how do you lock in so that everybody riding with you feels good about the ride? Let's have that conversation. Drop a comment. In the meantime, I'm going to get ready to go. You're watching Steel City MotoVlogs. I'm Derek T. You all take care until the next adventure.